We got breaking news here at CBS Sports HQ. A blockbuster trade. The Texans finalizing a trade of five-time Pro Bowler Laremy Tunsil to the Commanders. Now, the details of this. We got a second rounder and a fourth rounder next year to the Texans, plus a third rounder as well. Houston sending a fourth rounder and Tunsil over. Initial thoughts on this? Well, the Texans' offensive line was so good, why not get rid of the best player on it? I mean, it made no sense. They were terrible on the offensive line last year, and this makes no sense to me. When you look at it on the surface, what are you getting? Are you getting better? I mean, you're getting draft pick compensation. That's not going to help you next year. And this is a team, we expected big things from C.J. Stroud last year. In large part, he didn't play to that because the offensive line was a mess. And now you get rid of the guy who was the best offensive tackle on the team, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I just want to clarify really quick. So just wrapped up his third Pro Bowl for the Texans, 5th overall. In return, the Texans will receive a second round and fourth round pick in 2026, plus a third rounder this year. So just wanted to clarify when those picks actually are taking place.
Just to piggyback off what you were saying, Pete, because we had some expectations of this Houston team. A lot of it had to do with their OC, Bobby Slowick, the offensive line. Slowick no longer there. Changes to the offensive line. Again, what's the thought of Houston now coming into this sort of third season with C.J. Stroud at the quarterback?
It's a big year for him. It's a big year for that team. You know, they surprised a lot of people when he was a rookie. He surprised a lot of people when he was a rookie, and then he came into the season, and the expectations were high. They were going to push for a Super Bowl, and they won a bad division. It wasn't a very good division, but they weren't a very good team, and I think that showed up in the playoffs. So they have to get better on the offensive line, and this doesn't necessarily make them any better on the offensive line. I don't know what their plans are, because you're going to have to get a left tackle now, and that's always a concern. It's hard to find those guys. And you also let your right guard go. You know, Shaq Mason wasn't great, but they let him go as well. So they have to fix the offensive line.
Looking at the Commanders and what this can mean for them, we saw the success that they had, and everyone was surprised and delighted by what Jaden Daniels was able to bring over there. What does Tunsil kind of do to help protect him?
Well, he would give them a left tackle, and they had uncertainty at that position last year. In fact, Coleman, their rookie, played a lot there and struggled at times. He's going to be a decent player down the line, but you get a guy like Laremy Tunsil to step in and become your left side blind side protector. That's important. And so from that standpoint, it makes sense for them. But again, here's the question about it. You're getting older. I mean, this team it's a young team on the rise, and now all of a sudden you're adding some age to that mix, and so sometimes you question that a little bit as well.
Maybe they just need that veteran presence in there.
But what does it mean that the Commanders, or maybe this is in your opinion, Pete, how much they think they're close to the champs? They get Deebo Samuel to add to what we're seeing with Terry McLaurin. They're trying to make moves, get to the postseason, and then get to the Super Bowl like the Eagles did.
And you play the Eagles, you better protect your quarterback. And so from that standpoint, it makes sense. And he is a good pass protector. He's a good player when he's on the field. He's not a kid anymore. So, you know, he's not going to be Jaden Daniels' blindside protector for a long time. But for the now, it definitely upgrades that offensive line.
And the popular thought is Terry McLaurin over the top, downfield, Deebo everything underneath. Is that how you envision, at least right now, the Washington offense with Cliff Kingsbury?
Are they getting Deebo in shape, or are they getting the Deebo that was 20 pounds overweight last year? Because that guy who was 20 pounds overweight doesn't do anything. I mean, he's a non-factor.
Couldn't use him as an option in the backfield. Can you use him underneath? Yeah, he's a Swiss Army knife? No.
Yeah, but if he's in shape, Cliff Kingsbury will find a way to get both backs on the field at the same time, which is big for them. I think that's important, and you can do a lot of different things with him in the backfield. So I think if he's in shape, and that's the big if.
So you're basically saying he's the NFL version of Luka Doncic. If he's in shape, he's a great level.
Luka Doncic never got that big. I mean, Deebo was way too heavy last year, and I think he'd be the first one to admit it. He just didn't have any suddenness. He didn't look like the same player. And he could be a good gadget guy. I don't think he's ever going to be a big-time wide receiver anymore. He's a gadget guy, but they can use him, and I think Cliff Kingsbury will get creative with him.
All right, so going back to this breaking news that we just got down the line, offensive lineman Laremy Tunsil to the Washington Commanders. What's your grade?
Well, I give it a B+ for the Commanders because they're getting a blindside protector for their franchise quarterback. I give it a C-D for the Texans because their offensive line wasn't very good. You got worse. I don't understand the thinking in that. I just don't. It makes no sense to me. This offensive line was a disaster last year. He was the only player that was worth anything, and now you get rid of him. It makes no sense.
Pete Prisco, been with us throughout the day. Pete, you better get out of here soon.
Get out of here now.
Just leave before more news breaks. We got so much more on CBS Sports HQ. Anytime anything happens, you best believe we are coming up live.
Coming from his car next on HQ's next breaking news story.